You are now watching the No Cell Roundtable. Here are your hosts, Joe Monroe and Chris Sack.
Hello, folks, and happy Friday. It is I, Joe Monroe. Yes, I'm still alive. Don't worry. Sorry, Brox. Anyways, welcome back to a brand new episode of the No Cell Roundtable. And as always, with me, the man with the power, the man of the hour, the wizard CZ. CZ, how are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing pretty good today, so I'm excited to be back.
Good. And tonight we have none other than Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. How you doing, Mike?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Chilling. Woo, my bad. I'm chilling, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, brother. And as always, my good buddy up from Canada, our resident Canadian, Samp. Samp, what's going on, brother?
Everything's beautiful, man. It's Friday. What more can we ask for?
Well, we did have someone else who was here, but he's not relevant. Anyways, no, Brox will be right back, guys. Brox Boulder will be back. But it's good to see everybody today. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Man, I'm good.
Fantastic.
Good, that's good. Oh, geez, Louise, of course, he wants to make an entrance. What is up with these wrestlers who want to make entrance? Ladies and gentlemen, Brox Boulder.
I couldn't hear you. I got out to get back in so I could hear you. It's not an entrance thing. I couldn't hear you. I mean, it was the best 15 seconds of my life not being able to hear you, but whatever. I'm here.
All right. Right. Anywho. So it's been what, a month since we've had this show?
Just about, yeah.
Right, season. Freaking month. Yeah, thanks, Tornadoes. Actually, you know what? Forget it. I'm blaming Brox on everything. It's Brox's fault. He conjured the tornado. It's Brox.
Listen. I sit in the studio and thought, how could I screw Joe Monroe's podcast up? And the tornado is what I came up with. So yeah, that's it.
And it was about Sabu too. How dare you? We'll redo that episode.
Whoa.
Hey, Rusty, hope you're doing great on the beach. Don't forget to catch you some Ruskers while you're there. Anyways. So gentlemen, we don't really have a specific topic tonight. There's just some things I want to talk about because, I mean, frick, it's been a month since we've done this. First off, R-Truth, what in the heck is going on with Mr. Ron the Truth Killings? I say it's about freaking time this has happened. Finally get a quote.
I think we lost the mic.
Did I lose my mic?
Yo, I hear you now.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Okay, weird. All right. Well, he's talking about Ron the Truth Killings. I mean, who's happy that we're finally seeing the true Ron the Truth Killings on WWE?
Oh, 100%. It's about time. I mean, former two-time NWA champion deserves to have his moment in the spotlight as a more serious competitor.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I might have said that like in this storyline that he might have to get serious, and it's unfortunate that him getting released, that he had to go back to Ron Killings or whatever. But it's cool, and hopefully we can get a title shot this time. So I'm looking forward to it.
I had the beginning of SmackDown on him. He did come out and he attacked John Cena.
Well, you know what, guys? I agree with what you're saying in terms of him coming back and having more of a Ron Killings type of role. But I will and I might be the odd man out here, and I apologize, but guys, I just don't like the way he came back. Plain and simple. I've always believed one thing, and wrestling. No one's bigger than wrestling. If he was going to come back, let him be released, bring him back in a couple months, resign, something like that. The way this all kind of played out, I don't know. What do you guys think? I personally didn't agree with the way it all played out.
I can't lie. When he before he took the mask off, I was surprised that it was him. I kind of looked and I'm like, is that truth? But when he took the mask off, I was like, oh snap! So they must have brought him back. So I was shocked about it. And I think, and for me, I don't have no problem with how he came back because I think it kind of like with everything that's been going on with him and Cena, it kind of makes sense. But I get what you're saying, Sam.
No, I hear what you're saying too, brother. But what I'm saying is just like now that opens the door for everyone now to kind of use that kind of ploy and that gimmick, and because we live in a social media kind of era, and digital and everything is everything, right? Like I mean, a lot of times we have to watch the social media platforms to know what's going on with the story because they're doing stuff like back in the day it just happened on TV. Now it's happening everywhere. There's Twitter wars, there's back and forth, there's videos being released. So you know what I mean? It's just like allowing other talent, like this. Why? Who's to say Carlito couldn't do this now? That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's just like wrestling. Wrestling is wrestling. If you get released, you get released. Right?
Yeah, I feel you.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just looking at it from a broader standpoint. Like this will just open the door for other talents to do the same stuff. The last time we really saw something like this happen was with Daniel Bryan, with the whole Yes movement.
Yeah,
that is true.
Same kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Brox, you're being awfully quiet. What do you think?
Listen, I think I love all the viewpoints here. What's going on? It's Friday the 13th. I'm in the school. I'm at the podcast. I'm in the podcasting studio, and I'm hearing the creepiest crap going on. It might be Ron Killings here because I'm not far from Lexington, and I think he's here in a mask trying to scare the snot out of me. Because I keep hearing the craziest crap behind, like into this side of me where everything's going on, and I'm not trying to get killed tonight. I'm just saying that I'm not trying to get Ron Killings tonight. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hearing the craziest stuff going on over to my left, and I keep looking. I'm like, I feel like Joe's gonna pop around the corner any second now, and like just in a Friday the 13th mask and murder.
Oh my!
I mean, I do have mine back here.
I know. As far as it goes, I didn't like it either. I'm not a fan of how he came back. I also don't like in the manner, and I'm sorry, this might have been a point Baron brought up. I was distracted by whatever's trying to murder me. I don't. It's almost like I feel like it opens a door for other people to do the same stuff. Is that something was said already? I'm sorry if it is. It opens a door for, I don't know, maybe to hold. I don't know. I don't want to say WWE hostage or any company hostage. It's just I just didn't like the way it kind of happened. I don't know. Not a fan. I always loved R-Truth and what he done. His silly antics were fun for me. I'm not a big fan of like slapstick comedy wrestling, but the little bit of comedy he threw in the things that they done was, I thought, just on point with everything they done. So I don't really like the angle. Some speculation is that he's on his way out regardless, and they're trying to do him some justice by giving him a serious role in WWE. So I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah, it's got me going back and watching when he was like the NWA World Heavyweight Champion in a TNA, and it's like, okay, this is the truth we need right now. That's what they're trying to pull off.
Is anyone else having audio issues, like hearing things?
I keep getting kicked back.
I'm-
That's weird.
I'm hearing some feedback every once in a while, and I thought it was my internet at first, but Joe was kind of stuttery for a moment there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also just trying to make sure it's not like the spirit of Jason Voorhees trying to kill me right now. So please God, tell me if you guys are having the same problems, right? I'm telling you, I'm freaking the hell out right now. Like I don't know what's going on. Like I'm the dude in the horror movies that dies first. It's me. So yeah.
Hey, well, you know what? The black man always go first, so it's
You
nice.
tell me you're not that guy that goes.
Yeah, listen, I got tonight, buddy. I got you. I'm gonna go first. So you be second, but I'm going first tonight. It's me. I'm here for you, bro.
It's always the colored ethnic people that always leave. We don't stick around.
Right.
I'm that stupid girl that's like, oh, you heard the noise upstairs? Let's go check it out. You know, and then I'm dead, right? So, like in my horror movie, Mike, you probably make it to the end. So, you know, I'll start writing that, and you can be the hero that kills everything at the end. I got you, bro. I guess Joe was. I guess Joe was mad that I didn't put him in the end. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I don't know what. I know. Rusty in the comments was talking about. We're talking about truth. Let's kind of switch gears a little bit. What do you guys think about the potential of Bill Goldberg and Gunther now being a title match at Saturday night's main event?
I don't like it. I'm not upset that Gunther is the champion, but I just hate the reason why.
Yes.
Like Goldberg does not need to be in the title match. Like they could have still did this match without Gunther being the champion, you know? And this just, I don't know. Like, I don't see no reason for it because he's not about to beat Gunther. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think it's just a waste. That's my opinion.
I agree. I don't mind Goldberg having the title, but Gunther having the title, but honestly, Gunther doesn't need it at this point. So, I mean, they played it up. It was kind of, the writing was kind of on the wall with them playing up Jay's injuries over the last few weeks, that this was probably going to happen. But the reasoning behind it to give Bill Goldberg another title match, and no.
And it's
I
not
don't
like
even want him to have another match.
And it's not like it's gonna be a classic, something that we gonna be talking about on an A&E documentary. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what's the point?
Right.
You know what?
It's potential.
Stranger things have happened, but here's the way I kind of look at it. I mean, I always thought that, you know, Jay would be the transitional champion. I said that. I've said that to you guys before. I said it on our show as well. You know, and sure enough, 51 days, transitional champion. Is Gunther the right guy? But I think this is a long-term plan here, right? Like, if you think about it, who has a briefcase? Seth does, right? So the way I kind of see this all playing out, you have Goldberg's final match. He's a huge draw, right? I mean, he's working on everything he needs to work on right now to get ready for this show. So why not? Let's do it. He's not going to win the title. And you're probably going to see Gunther turn face after this with Seth Rollins. So this is the other way to get him to where he needs to get to through the Goldberg, which is basically being talked about and teased for almost a year now, if not less than a year.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Gunther's been face the whole time, even with Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because
but officially.
Yeah, because even after the promo he did with Logan Paul, he even gave props to Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
and just some of the stuff he's been doing, like backstage or whatever, it's been kind of like in the middle, still kind of like heelish, but you could kind of tell like turning face a little bit.
But see, Braun Breaker was kind of like that too until he completely flipped. Right?
Yeah.
Like 1 week he was like a good guy, next week he was you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, but also like, all y'all know that I'm a big Jey Uso fan. I'm not mad that he dropped the title. I just hate the. I understand the reason why, but I think he had a nice little run as a champion. I still think he got another opportunity, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him reunite with Jimmy and try to get the tag titles again.
That's the rumors they're wanting.
That's what's probably going to happen. I mean, that's the best direction.
And honestly, I think it'll be good for Jimmy because it's like they really haven't given him his own identity since they split. It's like he's still been trying to like feed off of Jey Uso's geek character. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not working. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it would be cool if they got back together and they both coming through the crowd, kind of doing the geek thing, or they do like a remake of their old entrance or whatever. But I wouldn't mind seeing them get back together one last run.
This could lead to Usos New Day final match at Mania next year.
Yeah. And I think the New Day needs something like that because I haven't really been feeling their tag team run. They really haven't been doing anything.
Well, I mean, let's face facts. The Raw tag team division absolutely sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Worse than a Brock Boulder match. I agree.
Come out of retirement and say that. Please come out of retirement and say that. Come out of retirement so I can dog walk you back into retirement. One time, please.
You're starting to sound like Austin Diamond. Hush. Anyways,
I'll see him Sunday, just so you know, or next Friday, actually. Next Friday.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate for you.
It is. You're not wrong.
But let's talk about someone else. I mean, for crying out loud, what the hell are they going to do with Karrion Kross?
Give him his own show. I think he's funny. I love it. I love his takes on stuff. Like I'm maybe it's the heel in me. I'm not even a heel. I love it. I love the interviews that he's given. I love this. I love it. I love it. I love it.
His documentary he released about a month or so ago on his YouTube channel. I watched it when it came out, and I'm like, oh my god,
it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Loved it.
Ones.
Can I spin something with him?
Go for it.
So I'm thinking that Sammy is going to make it into the finals of the King of the Ring tournament, and Karrion Kross is going to screw him over.
Ooh,
I like it.
That would be something for him at least. But this goes back to kind of like R-Truth and him. His contract's about to expire as well, from what I heard.
Yeah.
And they're just now giving him this kind of somewhat of a push. But as soon as he either renews the contract or whatever, comes up with a new deal, they're going to probably push him back into oblivion, and they shouldn't do that.
No.
And here's another thing. This is one thing I've always said with WWE. I think they have just way too many freaking people.
In comparison to who AEW is like the biggest roster on the planet.
Yeah, like
I'm not disagreeing with you, but like
no, AEW page out WCW's book. Let's just be honest.
years down the road, when what killed AEW is going to be WCW. WCW not reading WCW's handbook is what killed AEW.
This is why we learn from the past and not screw up in the future.
Right.
I told you what AEW needs to do. It needs to be a roster split, a AEW roster and a Ring of Honor roster. Give Ring of Honor one of those shows during the week to give them more exposure instead of having them on the streaming service. And because I forgot who the Ring of Honor champion was. It's Bandito, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he beat Jericho, right?
Yeah. And I just think that this was an opportunity to take that brand and make it bigger than what it was. And it's just kind of like it's still where it's always been, just kind of like on the streaming service or on the internet.
No,
when you do that roster split, when you give them their own entities, for God's sake, get that AEW championship out of the damn briefcase.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been way long.
For some reason,
story though. That's a big part of the story, though. I hear what you're saying, but
I get it, but you should never not feature your heavyweight championship, your main world title. You should never not feature it on your program. It needs to be front and center for everyone to see.
for some reason, I think when they take when they open up the briefcase, I think it's gonna be a new title. I think they're gonna unveil a new world title soon.
Maybe
That's
it's all
one thing with
backlog and
AEW,
that's
man.
what's
They have way too many belts.
Yes.
Preach. I hate to watch a show or even work in a promotion where, you have 8 matches on the card and all 8 of them are title matches. Or watch, it's just too much, man. Like, what are you fighting for at that point? You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be the top guy, but you could be the top guy for 6 different titles. That's not what it's about for me. I'm about like it being, there's 3 titles. I grew up on the Intercontinental Championship being, having some sort of weight to it. You had the World Heavyweight Championship, and then, tag team was no thing, but like those were the titles. It was the Intercontinental Championship and then the Heavyweight Championship, and that was it. And you vied for those positions. It was important to be the number 1 contender for those belts. Now someone can get knocked out of the heavyweight contention and say, oh, well, we're going to be the number 1 contender for the banquet frozen dinners done in 60 seconds heavyweight championship. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Stop commercializing that bullshit. Make it about something again, Stop that crap. Stop it. I'm sorry for my language. My bad.
When
I get
you
a
have
little amped up.
when you have that many titles, the title just becomes a prop. I mean, I know for all intents and purposes, titles are props, but they're not. They hold weight for everyone in the company, and they hold weight for all of us fans. And when you have 7, 8, 9 titles in a promotion, what is the point?
And that's the piggyback what Brock said. Like back in the day, the Intercontinental title was the workhorse title, and that was the belt to get you prepared for the World Championship. And it's just like, and that was kind of like in WCW with the US title and the television title. You know what I'm saying? That was like to kind of prepare you for the WCW championship. And now, like you said, the 24/7 I-95 Jeffries Freeway Championship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Can we at least have the 24/7 title as an exception? Thanks, Star. Thanks to Truth. I mean, come on.
No, I hate
That
that
one was
title.
kind of fun.
I didn't really like the 24/7 championship.
and the crazy part with AEW, I thought the TNT Championship was supposed to be like the Intercontinental Championship or the Television Championship.
Yes.
Then they made the International Championship. Then you got the Antarctica Championship.
See,
You know what I'm saying?
The problem I see is when you look at like that, like in the women's division, for example, you got the AEW Women's World Champion, and then you got the TBS Champion. Which one holds more weight?
Yeah.
Depends on the ratings. Depends on if
A lot of
TNT or
times I feel
TBS is
that
getting more
Monet's
ratings.
title, like the secondary title, is bigger than the one that Tony Storm's carrying, which is
Well, now hang on. That's also a great example of what happened in ECW when Van Dam had the television title, because the television title ended up being bigger than the ECW world title.
I think it just depends on who's holding the title.
Exactly.
Because Sasha Banks is a big star, and she's been doing her thing, in different promotions all over the world. And not saying that Tony Storm is not a star, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
no. I'm just talking their 2 promotion titles, not all the other ones that she's carrying from Japan. Just the TBS and the AEW Championship. I'm just comparing those 2.
Yeah.
Dang it, Brox.
I'm sorry.
Next week, debuts the HBO.
That's funny. Thank you, Brady. Here's the thing, though. I will say this for WWE. Being the student of a female trainer, Jillian Hall, I am glad that the women's division has got more titles to kind of showcase who they are. I still don't want 15 titles, but I'm glad that WWE finally showed some love to the women's division, because the women's division now is not like it was before. How'd you look in a bathing suit? Now you got to go out. You got to know how to work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the fact that they're showing that women's division some love with some different titles, that same titles that the men have had for years, but they're giving the women the opportunity to do that. Kudos to Hall and WWE for doing that. Really, I think that's great.
If I may, just because of what you were just saying there, brother. Would you guys agree or disagree that the women's Money in the Bank match was better than the men's because the women worked harder?
Yeah,
One hundred
I
percent.
agree with that.
Yep.
100%. I will even elaborate on that. I think the last 2, maybe 3 War Games women's matches have been better than the men's.
I agree.
I'll take it further. I would say the last couple War Games, women's Royal Rumble, and women's Money in the Bank matches have been better than the men's.
I'm with it. I'm here. I support that, Mike. I'm telling you, like, they've been killing it. And that's the thing. That's the thing is what's so great is in this day and age, it's not that wrestling is not, it doesn't matter how you look anymore as far as the women's division. Before, it's how you looked in the bathing suit. I hate to be that guy, but, you know, I'm coming from a perspective of when I watched it back in the day as an adolescent kid or a teenage kid, like, you know, that was what everybody wanted to see. But as a worker, as someone who has shared the ring with, you know, some of the greats and been trained by one of the great women that didn't get a chance to show how she could work, I think it's despicable. I think it's great that now that these women are getting their chances. If you put some of the women then that were just going out there and being strutted, now I'm not talking about, and I'm not pooping on any of these people, but I'm not talking about like the Stacy Keeblers. You know, she had her spot, but like the workhorses, you know what I'm saying, like that really done their thing back then. If they're in this industry today, they're out there outworking the men just like these women are right now. And I think it's great that they're finally getting their flowers. Oh, I swear, I love it. I absolutely love it.
And just think about all the NXT call-ups. The majority of them have been women.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
NXT had, and I say that in past tense
Rusty.
because it's a rebuilding period for them, in my opinion, but NXT had the best women's division in wrestling until everybody got called up. And that's saying something. And I don't think NXT's women's division is bad by any means now. There are a lot of great talent that are still down there. But look at all the people that have been called up that are just going to shine in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So Rusty brought up a good question here back to AEW. So question, if AEW leave TNT and TBS, what happens to those titles?
They become the new station's titles. The WB title.
The WB title.
Had that frog come out singing.
Well, that being said, Warner Brothers is doing their shakeup, which is kind of. I think there's something that might happen. I don't know, but this is what I've heard.
They might try to unify it or something.
Probably. Well, maybe that, or they might want to get rid of wrestling again.
And John Cena needs to go to AEW. Anyways, I know it was like a couple of weeks ago. I think it was it last week? Yeah, maybe it was last week. I don't know. Days are kind of a blur now and then. That Worlds Collide pay-per-view, I want to talk about that. I didn't watch Money in the Bank because I'm sorry, I liked the Worlds Collide pay-per-view.
It was a better show.
I hated that it was on YouTube, but I can kind of probably understand why it was on YouTube, because where it was a cross-promotion type deal, maybe they couldn't strike a deal with Peacock in time. But that pay-per-view was very surprising to me.
It was the better show of last weekend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially, I want to give a big shout-out to Mr. Iguana because I was not too familiar with him. As I was watching him, I'm like, my God, we need him and Santino in a match immediately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It gave me shades of Mr. Sacco and the Cobra and the stare off, like the Spider-Man meme. You guys ever seen the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing to each other? All the Spider-Mans are Cobra, the iguana and the Cobra just kind of back and forth. it's the old guy in me.
Called up to the main roster.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Like they want him on the main
he's
roster.
there. They've cut their vignettes. He's going straight up to the Raw brand.
Well, because he was a big merch seller too.
Huge. That's what they're basing it on. Like and he's actually got heat on him as well now too, a little bit because of his comments.
Comments.
Yeah, so he basically said, "I'm not even going the NXT route. I'm going straight to Raw." which kind of ruffled the feathers of some of the people, like the usual. Just
They just need to shut up. It's not their fault they're not as talented. Anyways. Or have a good gimmick going on.
Tell us how you really feel, Joe. I feel like you held back there a little bit. I feel like you're kind of closed off. Tell us how you really open up to us, brother. I feel like you kind of held back there.
Well, I think I'm holding myself back like you hold your tag partner back, but that's besides the point.
Wow, shots fired, man. Tag on. I know, like I hold that guy back so much. It's crazy how I hold him back, and he never gets any championships or anything. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
You
awful.
literally monkey flip him.
He monkey flips me. There's a difference.
Yeah, okay.
That is a job in itself. I'm not a small guy.
But that is true. That is true. Anywho. But yeah, Mr. Iguana, what was your guys' initial thoughts when you seen him?
I wasn't too familiar with a lot of the wrestlers from AAA, but yeah, it was pretty good. Matches were pretty solid. Yeah, and I can't really talk much about like I said, the AAA wrestlers. That's all I got to say.
Mike's probably still recovering from the Lola Vice Stephanie Vicure tag match.
Yeah, I'm with Mike. I mean, a lot of it was new to me in terms of their roster and whatnot. You could definitely see the WWE's influence in the production and the way it was presented. I'm surprised they didn't have it on Netflix even. I thought that would have been the spot, seeing that they own the company, so I don't really know what hurdles they'd have to jump through to show any of it. I mean, they own all the rights to it now, right? So,
yeah.
So that, other than that Mr. Iguana, though, he's pretty cool. I'm just kind of curious how long it takes to wash all that off.
And I also want to add, can we give kudos to Conan's stellar commentary that he had throughout the pay-per-view?
He did the best he could, man.
I thought he was a little dry, but
he did
that's
good,
because
though.
he was. I'm not disputing that, but compared to what I remember him doing promo work wise in WCW, is very, very dry and very subdued.
My favorite one was during that tag match with Lola Vice and Stephanie Vicure. She did the signature move, and he just goes, "Why'd they stop?" And I'm
shout out to Stephanie Vicure though, because she had like 3 matches that weekend. She had 2 on Saturday and 1 on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
workhorse.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. Then, double shot like that, and then the next day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, she worked her. If I'm not mistaken, during that tag match, she was working her mentor. So I thought that was kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think a lot of the luchadors that are in WWE shined in Worlds Collide as well. Not only with the AAA, a lot of people was like, "Oh, WWE won more because." Okay, yeah, we knew that was going to happen, but the way they featured the folks that are on their roster currently amazed me. I'm like, okay, they can show you they can work now. Do something more.
Yeah.
Especially, I gotta give kudos to Chad Gable in that main event.
That was a match of the year candidate, hands down.
Yes. What?
Chad Gable is underrated in everything he does and has been since the day he stepped in the ring. The dude is phenomenal. You will never hear me say anything negative about that guy. He took the Dusty Rhodes approach to the Shorty G gimmick even. Like, he took it on the chin, and he even got it over a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's that great. I love Chad Gable. No one can tell me that. I mean, he's a workhorse.
Straight facts, man. Straight facts. I mean,
love
Chad Gable to me is a dude who's actually legitimately old school, paid his dues. Mm-hmm. And if anyone should have won that Money in the Bank, it should have been him, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree completely. Love Chad Gable. To me, I don't think he has a weakness. Like you watch these guys that are really great in the ring, and maybe their mic skills aren't the best. They're okay. Their mic skills are phenomenal, and their ring work is like Cena. Cena has always been his mic. His biggest claim to fame has been the way he carries the stick. He wrestling, whatever. But like Chad Gable can grab the mic and make you love him. He can grab the mic and make you hate his guts. And then he can step in the ring and get over with you on how well he works. Or he can make you hate his guts on how big of a heel asshole he is. He can do anything at all. And he can work anybody. Dude is my height, which is, crazy. I'm 5'6" on a good day, and depending on what pair of shoes I'm walking in. Dude's 5'6", 5'7", and can work anyone. It doesn't matter. Him and Lesnar, Goldberg. He could work Goldberg and make Goldberg look great tonight. That's how good he is. Period.
And they made a big deal about how he hasn't held a singles title. So I asked this: why has he not held a singles championship?
Especially after that, I'd be like, God, at least put the stupid Speed title on him or something. I don't know.
He did. Didn't he carry it though when Speed first started? Didn't he carry the title?
As the mask gimmick, I think.
Yeah. But I'm just man.
Man, I go back to WrestleMania 40 when Sammy took the belt off of Gunther, the Intercontinental title. I never thought Sammy was the guy to do that. It should have been Gable to take that strap away.
Yeah, because a lot of people were behind him at that time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But yeah, I'm saying it. World's Club was a better pay-per-view than Money in the Bank. There, I said it.
100%.
Even the inclusion of Dirty Dominic Mysterio, which to me he should have defended the freaking title on that pay-per-view anyways. But
just another way that they dropped the ball with the Intercontinental Championship. That's my biggest complaint is the Intercontinental doesn't get the love it deserves. I think it is. Mike, I think you touched on it earlier. I think it's terrible they don't do the things that they should with the Intercontinental.
Yeah.
Well, at least Dom's doing a little something with it and having it around more.
Well, I mean, I think Dom is doing well as Intercontinental champion, but I think it doesn't matter the premium live event. It doesn't matter what's happening. If the World Heavyweight Champion, either championship that is defended, I think the Intercontinental Championship should be defended as well. It is on the same level to me.
Yeah.
Look at the people who's held it, and somebody could argue. I could argue with someone that the people who have held the Intercontinental Championship have better resumes than the people that have carried the Heavyweight Championship and the WWE title. Period.
I will include Jey Uso into that, and yes, I have to agree with you. Because some smart ass will say, "Well, what about Jey Uso? Multiple time World Tag Team Champion, Intercontinental Champion." Enough said.
I mean, he took a word and it's turned into a whole freaking movement, man. You know what I'm saying? These are the guys. These are like Stone Cold. What? You know what I'm saying? Like these are the guys. And
that's just like The Rock with SmackDown.
Yeah, these guys, man. These are the people. These are the guys we're going to be talking about. Forever. And Jey Uso, he was a hell of the tag team thing. You can't take that away from him and his brother. His lineage alone is something to talk about.
Did you guys
the tag team? What is it?
Sorry, did y'all see what Rikishi posted about?
Yeah, fire the writers.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus. And then he posted that video. I'm like, Keish, calm down.
He's just trying to make himself relevant.
Hey, listen. He's relevant. He's an oos, and he made me an oos one time. So listen, we're brothers. Don't talk about him like that.
You seriously got that framed?
He called me an oos on Twitter, man. I'm going to freaking frame that. Okay, come on. That's my one claim to fame. All right.
But I mean, let's be honest. I think Jay had a longer reign than we all expected him to have.
Yeah.
56 days. Well, 56 days, right?
51, 56. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Over 50 days. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, and he killed it. Listen, you could say that his title reign was worth it just in his crowd entrance, taking a kid put him beside of him or holding the kid while they're doing that got him over. That made the title relevant. Walking through the crowd with that title made it worth it for 50 whatever days it was. And that was all it was. He just walked through the title. He was in the hallway. His music plays. He's coming through. I think he done great. And I wouldn't be disappointed if he got it back.
Yeah, and his
I think he
Mania
done great.
with Gunther wasn't that bad either. It was a good match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, Brox. I wouldn't mind seeing him hold the title again, but let's be honest. Is he going to?
Probably.
Are they going to put it on him again?
Probably not. I don't think so.
I think he's one of those world champions that's going to fade off into obscurity and go back when he goes back into the tag scene. And
So
I hate to
Kofi.
say that.
So they're going to Jinder Mahal him, basically.
I don't think it'll be that bad.
No.
But
I think Kofi would Kofi come to mind for that? I mean, Kofi Mania was huge.
Yeah.
Kofi.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Kofi Mania was huge. I got into Kofi Mania, and then, he goes right back into where's
If
Kofi
anything,
at?
what happened to Kofi was worse. Because at least when I look at Jey Uso, I'll always say he's the world champion because he defended the title. He just didn't win it and lose it. He actually had 2 to 3 defenses of it. So,
Yeah.
But what happened to Kofi, that was like
That was
blatant.
terrible.
Mhm. I agree.
I hate to say this, but Kofi won the championship because he's been with the company for so long. That was the only reason they gave it to him, as out of okay, you paid your dues. Here's your opportunity, but you're not going to get it for long.
Hey, but you know what? I ain't even mad at it because it was like, man, Kofi put the work in for like
Oh, absolutely.
10, 12 years at that time. And it was just like, that's one of my favorite WrestleMania moments, like for me, when Kofi won the title, because it was just like, it's about time, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say. It was cool on social media when they showed MVP and Shad from Crime Time at the party.
Yeah.
And they was watching it, and I think Envy, they had tears in their eyes or whatever. It was kind of a cool moment because they just, like I said, Kofi put that work in and he deserved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was one of the ones that had a weird gimmick and kind of went through it. He lost a Jamaican accent right on live TV.
Wait, Jamaican?
Right.
I will say that Dolph Ziggler had a terrible title run in WWE, if anybody remembers.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because I think
He had AJ and Big E with him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think he had lost to Alberto Del Rio, his first title defense or something like that.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, can we talk, if we're talking about worst title defenses, or bad luck since it's Friday the 13th, can we talk about all of CM Punk's before the Money in the Bank match?
Oh, Lord.
Just saying. He won the world title twice.
You're not wrong.
No, you're right.
Won that
Gentlemen,
twice.
I need to step out for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay. Dang it, Brox. Why'd you make him step out?
I think he has to poop.
Okay.
Sorry.
I guess. Well, speaking of bad luck in wrestling, it's Friday the 13th. A lot of people want to contribute this day to bad luck. I don't. I think it's a day to celebrate Jason Voorhees, one of the best horror icons of all time. But I digress. Who do you think has the worst luck in wrestling history?
Ooh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Define luck, though. What do you mean by it? Like character
Okay.
or
shoot? Well, you kind of like they never really got not even a title shot match when they should have, or they should have been featured more than what they were. Stuff in that nature.
Okay, so are we talking I'm sorry, man. Just to narrow it down, are we talking WWE or just wrestling as a whole?
Just as a whole.
Okay.
I would say somebody like Jake the Snake Roberts. He never was a champion in WWE or WCW. And then I heard he had told a story about how Hulk Hogan, he was supposed to have a match with Hulk Hogan but it never happened, or something about Hulk Hogan had did something with, he was supposed to get a major push, but they didn't want Jake the Snake to be a bigger star than Hulk Hogan or something like that.
Right.
So
I remember that. I remember watching that.
So
That's a
I
good
would
one.
say somebody like him.
That is a good one.
That's really good.
Sam
man.
and Brox is thinking.
Yeah, I know. Like, you know, I think about guys like Roddy Piper. I think about guys like Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig.
Oh, I can see.
I
Perfect.
think of guys like Scott Hall.
Yeah.
You know, those are three names that are just kind of standing out of my head. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just guys like that, you know, just, and I think to answer that question, it's almost gotta be a person with tenure.
Right.
You know, it can't be anyone in the modern era, almost like where we are today, because we don't know how a lot of these stories are playing out. But in terms of, you know, just those three guys right there alone, in my opinion, they never got the right opportunity to do it. Like, I think Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, only had one title shot, and that was at the Royal Rumble, right? And
yeah,
you know, Mr. Perfect, did he even ever get a heavyweight title shot? Was he ever featured in anything?
Not that I remember.
Right? No. Like, I mean, and Piper, I outside of the Intercontinental title, I don't think I ever saw him like with tag team titles or anything. It's just that one time.
I think he was the U.S. champion in WCW.
He was.
He was.
Perhaps,
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. But that's about it.
And
I have a weird.
Had a hit single in WCW.
I have two, and I agree with, you know, tenure plays a big part in this. So my old school girl, my old head, and listen, you guys may not agree with this because he's a two-time WWE or a two-time Hall of Famer, okay? But hear me out. I think whatever you want to call him, the 1, 2, 3 Kid, X-Pac, Six, Sean Waltman, I think, and some of it's self-inflicted. I get that. Some of that is self-inflicted. But I think that guy alone being a part of two of the greatest factions that's ever seen wrestling, you know, two of the top 3, top 4, argument for another show, but Sean Waltman, X-Pac, 1, 2, 3 Kid. I mean, this guy came in and immediately Razor put him over on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Like on Raw, they put this kid over. And he was trained by the Malenkos. And he trained with Bobby Blaze, who everyone knows I absolutely adore. They trained at the same time. Listen, any podcast I'm on, Bobby Blaze is coming out of my mouth, Joe.
I knew
I'm just
there was
going to tell
going
you
to be
right
a
now.
connection to Bobby Blaze at some
I'm
point.
just going to tell you, they trained together at Malenko's. He was a 15 or 16-year-old kid when Bobby was there. So, but X-Pac is mine. He's my guy that, like, for me, I feel like if he'd gotten, you know, kept himself a little bit out of the limelight in the negative way and maybe been what Vince, because everybody knows Vince was looking for monsters. He was looking for big guys. He did not push the little guys. He hated them, you know, and X-Pac wasn't that. So I think he's probably, for me, I think he's that one. Now, my one that's a little newer. Kind of fits, you know, X-Pac's body style, but I think is a better entertainer. I think Ricochet has been shit on in his career. I love Ricochet. I think Ricochet has been a guy that I wish would have had more opportunities on a bigger stage. And he went to AEW looking for that. I don't feel like he's found it. And I feel like, and I agree with what you said, 10 years is a big thing, and we don't know what Ricochet is going to do, but I love Ricochet. I think he does really well. So, hot take, whatever. Yeah.
It's easy.
So, I kind of get the sense of what we're talking. Ask me the question again, since I was out of the room, just to make sure I know what we're talking about.
So it was one of the topics we talked about earlier, since it's Friday the 13th. Who has the worst luck in wrestling history?
Oh, right now, I would give that to LA Knight.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's a great one.
I
Oh,
think-
that's a good one.
I think he has needed to have been a world champion multi times by now. He's had He's had what, 2 opportunities at the world title, one in a fatal 4-way and one against Roman Solo.
Mhm.
He can do no wrong in my opinion. His mic work, his in-ring work are all fantastic. You know, he's the first one that comes to mind.
And how old is he right now, CZ? You know, right off the top of your head, how old is he?
Not off the top
40.
of my head. He's in his
41.
He's in his 40s. I know that.
41. So I'm going to agree with you. I don't know what you got to say about him, but whatever you say from here on out about him, hell yes, yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you, man. He's doing this in his 40s. By the way, he's doing this in his 40s.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I'll throw another name out, and this might spur some controversy. I don't think he's had bad luck, but he's someone that should have been a world champion. He's had multiple phenomenal matches for a world title. He's held the Intercontinental Championship. He's just never been put in that big picture. Is Ricky Steamboat?
There you go.
another good one.
that he has, like you said, a world title, but I got to agree with you. He really didn't get that. His was it 89 with Flair? They had that series.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that was the peak right there.
But you guys, if you think about it, everyone who's been mentioned on this list has proven without a shadow of a doubt they don't need any gold to carry their weight the way they have.
True.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right? Not to say that none of them deserved it, but isn't it interesting how all these guys named just don't need anything to make themselves? They did it without it.
Right. But that's what makes them great. I'm with you 100%. That's what makes them, because I'd say almost every one of them we named are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I think almost every one of them we named. And that means more to some of them than any title they carried in the business. I mean, if you work your whole life, miles and miles on the road, busting your body, going up and out, and then you get rewarded with being inducted into the biggest Hall of Fame and the biggest stage in professional wrestling, that probably coincides with, oh, the hell with that world title. I got this ring,
Well,
It's a good point.
that
Absolutely
is
great point.
very good point. Also, it's not only Friday the 13th this weekend. Sunday is Father's Day, so I want to say Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. And leads me to my last question of the night. Best father figure in wrestling. I gotta go Eddie Guerrero.
Listen, you know what I want to say because I'm the asshole of this group. You know what I want to say.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to do it.
Now do it.
I don't want to now.
Please
No,
tell me
all right.
Christian Cage.
No. I think everyone knows what I was going to say, but I'm gonna. Yeah, it was a rabid comment.
No.
No, come on, man. You can't just show me ice cream and say I can't have a lick.
It was a sarcastic answer. It was just a killer guy in and out of the ring.
Okay.
Okay.
How
Never.
about Mr. Ric Flair?
Sure. Sure.
Should we give sarcastic answers first and then our real answers?
Let's just go ahead with the real answers before we get kicked off.
Oh man.
Let me think
I
of
don't-
somebody.
Can I kick it off and be a dork about it? But sincere.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
Triple H.
Mm.
Anything Triple H does, man, I mean, him and Steph, such a high profile marriage, and you hear rumors and you hear that in this, and anytime he's been up there on stage, he always talks about his daughters. He always thanks Steph for anything. And being a girl dad, so I have 2 daughters. Being a girl dad, it will test your energy more than anything than you'll ever have in your life. I'm just coming from personal experience. My 9-year-old, she scares the living dog snot out of almost anybody that meets her. She refers to herself as Babe Older. she's going to be the next big thing. She's 9. But the fact that this guy has done what he's done in his career, had the scrutiny of marrying the $1 billion princess, creating a family with the $1 million princess, now he has the keys to the ship of the mothership of all wrestling promotions, and is still the family man that, you don't hear anything about him. I think Triple H has to be up there as one of the guys that, happy Father's Day to maybe the guy of fathers in the wrestling business.
On that line, not only is he a father to his daughters, but he's a father type figure to a lot of wrestlers. One that comes to mind in that same guise is Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people in WWE today would consider him their wrestle dad, I'm sure. And he was from everything I've heard, he was a great role model for Cody, if not everybody else in the family.
Yeah, I dig it. I don't know. I think, and if you count Triple H in that, you probably in that same aspect, Sean has done things with NXT. He's done I don't know. It's kind of hard to dive into the personal aspects of these guys' lives and see what kind of father they are if they're not a public father, But
right,
it's hard to
father mentor type deal is kind of
being a girl dad myself. I totally hear where you're coming from, man. I don't know how you do it with 2. I only got 1, and I think 1 is just full. So respect to you.
I agree.
I think anyone the way I look at parenting is very simple. As a dad, I don't look for accolades. I don't look for people to tell me I've done a good job or this or that. If you do, thank you. But you know what? I'm supposed to do that. That's a given, right?
That's our job.
And the people, I personally feel anyone who tries to make that type of stuff public is really trying to hide something. Now, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but you know what I mean? It's just like the guys you don't hear about are the ones who are doing everything that they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I guess according to Dom, Rey Mysterio is doing a lot of things wrong.
Well, hey, man, if it wasn't for Rey, then Dom would have had to go through NXT, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Who do you think, Mike?
You know what? I was gonna say somebody like Booker T.
Okay.
But after his commentary on NXT, when the women come up, I might take that back. But no, but all jokes aside, after him having the wrestling school and Roxanne Perez, how she's came up and she wrestled at his school and stuff and has been kind of a father figure to her, and just seeing the stuff that he's been doing on LFG, I think he's a good candidate. Then I was thinking of Rey Mysterio, because even though he's in the storyline with his son where they are beefed out,
he's a deadbeat.
Deadbeat dad.
I think it's cool that, you know what I'm saying, that his son followed in his footsteps, and he's a pretty good wrestler, and he's a champion, a tag team champion, an intercontinental champion, and a North American champion. So for the little time he's been in wrestling, he got a pretty good resume. So
yeah.
I'm also going to throw one out there. Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that's a good one right there.
Just from a mentor aspect. I mean, come on. If anybody could be a father figure, the wrestling scene, there's no denying that Paul Heyman's. If he's not top 5, he's top 3.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know what, gentlemen? This has been a great show, especially since we just did it off the fly. I didn't really have too much of a subject matter. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming on. Go ahead, one by one. Let's tell the folks where they can find you at. Brox, I guess, what the hell we'll start with.
I'm on all social medias under Brox Boulder, but this Sunday, if you're in the Lexington, Kentucky area, you can find me at AMW Showdown there in the Lexington Ice Center. You can find that on pay-per-view as well. wrestling 4 other tag teams for the AMW Tag Team Championships and looking to add some more gold around the waist. Also here on Mondays and Wednesdays at WSN, hitting the ropes with Rox Boulder on Wednesdays and watch along on Mondays.
Sweet.
All right, Mike, where can they find you at, my friend?
Yeah, you can catch me all over social media. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Channel still growing. Also catch me on WSN as well. Go to the website, go to the podcast room, check out all the dope podcasts in the wrestling community, as well as Wrestling from the 313. And go Tigers.
Don't. No.
I was going to compliment Mike before we got off the air, and then he just went and screwed that all up.
Hey, hang on, Mike. Hang on. Let's piss off Brock even more. Go Volunteers. Hey, Sam.
Man, shut up. I'm out. Hell, what you are. I'm just kidding. What's great about being a producer as well is I can do whatever I want to. Whatever Joe does, I can do it too.
God. Sam, I'm so sorry. Where can the fine folks around the world find you?
Everyone can find us at Samp and Chance. We're on all major platforms, and I'm on your wonderful network when I'm invited. So, yeah, man, catch us everywhere. We do boxing and wrestling. That's what makes us different from most of the other wrestling podcasts. We cover them both, and it's a quiet weekend. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's a light load. I can actually relax and chill out a bit. And, yeah, everywhere and anywhere, man. Let's do it.
Note to self, go take the private jet, go to Canada, knock on Sam's door. We'll make him do something. Anyways, what?
Guys, anytime you guys want to come up here,
if I come to Canada, I'm staying. Anyways.
Please go to Canada.
Anywho, all jokes aside, finally, the one, the only wizard in podcasting, CZ, where can the fine folks find you at again, sir?
On most social medias, it is at CSTC Podcast, or you can find me personally at the Wizard CZ. Facebook, Card Subject to Change Podcast, as well as Wrestling with Fitness, our monthly accountability show with me and a buddy who are on a weight loss or a fitness journey. Not a weight. We don't like saying weight loss. We like saying fitness. And I'm excited because we're about a week away from our 200th episode on Card Subject to Change.
Nice.
We've got to make good. We had Hollywood from the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling scheduled to come on a couple months ago. She had some severe weather, and we're finally getting her back on, and I'm excited that she's on the 200th episode.
Very cool.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it has been fun. It's fun to be back on the round table. It's fun to be doing this again. Before we get off here, there's a few things I want to mention. First and foremost, July the 12th, Saturday, July the 12th. Thank God Brox won't be there. But we will be having the very first Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. It is front row's $15, general admission's $12. Not only we're going to be having the Hall of Fame ceremony, but we're also going to be featuring some of the best wrestling stars, independent wrestling stars of the state of Kentucky with Triple Crown Wrestling. We have partnered with them. Thank you again to the Triple Crown Wrestling Board for partnering with us. And it's just going to be a great time. And our very own WSN Professor Bear is one of those inductees. So congratulations, Professor Bear. We cannot wait. And Bear has left a note saying if none of us show up, which I have to remember, if none of us for WSN is showing up aside from Joe, he will start hunting people. So you ever seen Cone Cane Bear? It's probably going to be worse than that. If
don't threaten me with a good time, Bear.
But also on a note, usually I tell people thank you and to the trolls, shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. But given what's been happening lately, especially the LA, the riots and all this, I don't want to be too political, but I don't agree what's going on. And I'm on either side. You have the right to protest and stuff, but throwing stuff, going at each other's throats, not the way to do it. if we can be peaceful in any way, which giving the subject matter someone who has Agent Orange has escalated the situation, as Mike D will call him.
Agent Orange.
Agent Orange escalated the situation. So it just breaks my heart to see the country do this, because I know professional wrestling's one thing that we can all agree and come together on and shut up and enjoy. So instead of shut up and enjoy professional wrestling this episode, I'm going to say shut up and just enjoy life. Because
Respect.
it's too short. Too short for arguments, too short for just because you disagree with something, you want to get rid of it, and you want to escalate the situation. It should not be the right thing to do. That's just my 2 cents in it. I want everybody out there to stay safe. I want everybody out there to love one another. And as always, just enjoy life and professional wrestling. That being said, I am out. We will be back next Friday. To be completely honest with you, we probably won't even have another subject for next Friday, because I kind of like going off the cuff like this. It's a natural response and it's a natural conversation. But I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all take it easy, and we will see
Take care, brothers.
you next week.
Peace.